How you guys doing?
Perfectly
Okay.
tolerable.
Nice. Have you murdered anything today?
Can't say that I have just yet.
My sleep schedule.
Alright, Corn, we should be up and ready, so if you want to start it.
Alrighty. Welcome, everybody, to Jumpchain Terminal Season. We are out here in the world of RWBY. We got all of our players here, though one of them is Sans arm due to the shenanigans of the last episode.
And do it again.
I'll do it again. As it is, Yeld managed to take down the Minotaurus Grim. However, now it seems that you are faced with a much more difficult foe, Downtime.
High school.
What?
Oh, I'm not that cruel.
Oh, thank goodness.
But yeah, so as it is, for the most part, it's recovery period of time to make sure that, you're healed up and ready. Your arm is not going to look so great, Jackalope. Over the course of 1 week isn't enough to recover an entire lost arm. So for the most part, how do you want to try and progress? Do you plan on just slowly using healing to try and regrow it? Do you have a preference for prosthesis? Because it'll take a while for it to completely be up to regular level now that you nuked it.
What about the med bay?
That can heal and speed it up, but over the course of 1 week, I don't think that it will restore an entire limb. So I'm asking would you prefer it to grow back and have your organic arm back, or would you prefer it to go prosthesis technology instead?
Cool robot arm.
Well, it looks like I'm going robot arm because I rolled odds even through the fleshy.
All right, robot arm it is. Let's see. I believe Sin's character Hunter has the mech shift engineer. There's also the people inside of the area that you can also get assistance from, members of the organization. As you saw, at least one of them is well versed in terms of technological developments. So overall, over the course of a week, you're probably going to end up with a functional prosthetic.
I may not know bird bones, but I know how to make someone get a robot arm.
So,
technically.
Yeah. So, in this case, you will, when using checks specifically for strength checks, using your damaged arm, you will end up losing 1 die until the full recovery period is done.
Gotcha.
Mister, I'm just gonna bank extra successes anyway. But
hey, look, my ability was set up specifically for strength, and I'm gonna oonga boonga my way through life. Okay.
I mean, if it works, it works.
Oonga boongy baby.
You can't prevent me from being an idiot. You can only make it painful.
Then painful I shall make it, probably. But yeah, so along with that, over the course of a week, you're more or less able to get the prosthesis up and functioning. It works. Let's see. Hunter, what do you do over the course of the week? Anything stand out, or just...
I would assume I helped him make his arm functional.
Okay, anything else, or just focusing down on that?
Probably would have given... Huh?
I was like, do you want to do something? Because I was thinking of doing, trying to request some type of items that I could use, or maybe a shopping thing, but we can't, I don't know if we can go into town or anything.
He did, the headmaster did say that we could request items if need be. Since we have the phone, since I now have the phone, I would also give the scrolls from all of us to him, probably after getting... Well, actually, no, Wally's scroll doesn't need to be given to them, because they gave him it. So that would be Lynn's, mine, and Katie's scrolls. I would probably give to them.
Yep. And honestly, yours is the only suspicious one. So once the handoff goes down, everything just kind of like they examine it and they give it to you. I'll give everyone their scrolls back about 3 days later.
Nice. Yeah.
Some
So
things they just did. Oh, actually, I need to roll. But it's going to be a GM roll. Don't mind me just spookily rolling behind the GM screen for you.
pulls out sword.
The dice have finished roll.
Sheath sword.
Let's see. Katie, you also have a week inside of the organization to interact with people, some such as the ones that I previously mentioned.
Do you want to interact with them? Do you want to do something with me and Lynn?
Do you want to go ask if someone can make something for you so you can keep it in your warehouse forever, or do something with it?
Do you want to give Fluffy armor or something?
You want to give him cute armor?
Okay, armor for Fluffy would actually be pretty interesting.
Yeah, their
Battle
skin can make bullets bounce off of them, but nah, they need steel too.
Well, apparently they're not. Apparently, Fluffy is not immune to
The goose armor! The murder goose!
Let's see. Katie would probably use this time to like figure out how to upgrade, like in general. I'm not sure what I would do with the guns or the Heelys or some such. I mean, the Heelys are pretty fit right now. So honestly, making it so that Katie can take Fluffy on more missions would probably be pretty interesting. So like some maybe armor actually.
Roll me 2d6.
Oh, that 2d6. Hey, I got a
Okay.
success.
All right. Specifically, while trying to figure out how to make it so that Fluffy can spend more time hanging out with you on your adventures, you are able to use Abyssal Cuties, and you realize that there's a function of the ability. You could make Fluffy smaller if you want, and then you can restore him to his full size. So you could have him be as small as a teddy bear, though he would obviously be very weak in this state. The smaller you make him, the weaker he'll be, but you could then begin to carry him around, and in exchange for like one of your actions during a turn or before combat starts, you could just grow him back up to full size with your ability.
Portable Fluffy. Yes. I love it.
So that will be what you learned this week.
Yay!
Now, what about Lynn?
I'm on the fence about either two things. It's either if I can get like a one-time shield or like a light shield for lighter attacks, or if I can get a photo frame for inside the warehouse that can protect the photos that are inside. So to be like a large-scale frame that just has a bunch of like things that could help. I'm not sure. That's what I'm thinking of.
If you go through the organization I'm just going to say, yeah, you can have an extra durable picture frame for inside of your warehouse, just completely free. Like,
Cool.
it's not going to take you a week to ask someone to make you that.
I'll take that. Put that in my
Unless you have social anxiety.
That's true. It would take
Yeah.
a while then. But no, she doesn't, so.
Yeah, so
Okay.
fix,
Yeah.
strong picture frames, you can just get that for free, pretty much.
Acquired.
Yeah.
Why?
Yay! Yeah, then it would just be a possible shield or something, because that's not even sure.
Let's see,
That's
a
not-
light shield. So, yeah, that wouldn't be particularly difficult to get. Heavier attacks will pretty much disregard it, but lighter attacks will probably be able to do it. Let's see. It would probably end up being a physical shield and a mech shift style one. So pretty much, you'd get in exchange for your week, you'd basically get a vam brace on your dominant arm, which you could expand out into a makeshift shield. If you have that, it'll probably protect you from small arms fire. Though if someone were to say level Peacemaker or
Oh,
Hunter's
God,
Weapon at
Corn.
you, it would not be able to. What's up?
Your token. It died for a sec. It's alright,
No
keep going.
death.
Yeah, it would be able to deflect small arms fire, but if you tried to use it against heavy weaponry, it would probably sustain damage and need repairs.
Okay. Hmm.
Nice.
I believe that covers everyone's week, right?
A little bit. I think after I've done the the scrolls and stuff, and routinely checking on Jackal, I would probably also see if I can make any kind of modification to my weapon, considering the knowledge of Mecha Shift and the fact that my thing is basically a giant stick.
Okay.
I want to see
What
if I can
kind of
make
modification?
some kind of modification to make it a better swinging weapon, essentially. Because there's some hella force in terms of, like, shooting, but if something gets close to me, I'm kind of screwed at the moment, as illustrated by several of the opponents we've faced so far.
So if you want to increase its like physical thing, you can increase its weight. Did you already turn it into a heavy style weapon though?
It is.
Yeah. Okay. Then in that
But in
case, you
terms
can't
of, like,
really increase its weight
swinging.
further.
Yeah.
Swinging, given the shape of it, is kind of already very heavily bat shaped. Like it's already like aside from the blade portion, I'm not sure that there is a feasible way to make it even more viable for swinging, since it's already equivalent to a glaive, which is a specialized
true.
weapon for that sort of purpose. And it's already heavy, so it's already carrying a lot of weight behind its swings.
In that case, I might try and make it more pourable somehow. Try and, like, actually use the shift on it. The Mecha Shift.
Okay. What kind of shift are we talking about? Like, what do you want to do to it?
I don't know, I feel like I might be able to, like, half it. Because if I can half it, like, I don't know, fold it or something in some way, shape, or form, then that would make it a lot easier to carry around than carrying a or I don't know how big this thing is. 8 foot?
At the moment, you
8-foot
just sling it
stick.
over your back.
Yeah.
You could try to shrink it in half. Let's see.
Essentially by just kind of like folding it, almost like RWBY's weapon does, but not quite.
So the weapon that you described to me, you basically need to recraft the weapon from the ground up. But you can certainly try, because what you originally described was pretty much a solid all the way through weapon.
Yeah.
In the style of a rifle. Meaning that if you want to create one that can be broken down and manipulated, you're going to need to pretty much replace the weapon. So if you want, you've got about a week. You can try to roll for 2d6. We'll see how it goes.
Does Mecha Shift Engineer work with this? 1d plus
Yes,
1 to all
that's-
checks? Oh, is
Yeah,
that what I get
1d6
too?
plus the additional 1d6.
Oh,
With
okay.
Katie, she was getting 2d6 specifically because it was an aspect of her Abyssal Cutie's semblance.
Ah. If the fucking tram can shut up, that'd be nice. Did it go through?
Hey, I haven't seen any rolls come through yet.
Okay. Oh, it's because nothing's working on. Hold on, folks.
Would you like me to make the roll?
For a second. It's... I just refreshed my page on. There we go.
So,
There we go. Okay.
no.
There we go. 3 and 5.
Okay, so you got 1 degree of success. What I'll say here is you're able to draw up pretty much all the schematics that you'd need for building the weapon.
Okay, honey. Honeykeepers.
What'd you say? Yeah, you're able to build the schematics for it, but seeing as you're talking about like basically a full functional replacement of the gun portion,
Like
you're probably going to need to
yeah.
spend some separate time.
I would probably
'Cause if
need
you're-
to like redefine the barrel of it. Also, I'm kind of peeved that my barrel isn't bigger than the other guy's Magnum.
Yeah. If you want, you can also like make part of your schematics to increase, because as it is, basically what you're choosing to do here is redesign your weapon largely from the ground up. So if you want to make any changes, now is the time to do it while you're drawing up the schematics.
Yeah, so I'd probably
for example,
make
increase in the increase in caliber, or how you want it to fit, things like that.
Yeah, so I'd probably make about the same style of weapon. Obviously, still the absolute cannon of a caliber, as well as the glaive on the end and being a rifle shape. But I'd probably change the barrel to A, make it bigger, and B, make it able to essentially fold to get into a smaller size to some degree. Not quite the same as like Coco's weapon, for example. Not quite that same degree, but still similar concept. But namely changing the size of the barrel, and then maybe changing the blade portion to make it better equipped for momentum shooting, in case something gets too close.
I'm not sure I know what you mean when you say adjusting the blade for shooting.
Making it so like no matter where I swing, the blade itself can like change its so essentially like if it's facing one end, it can shift itself up and then around to the other side.
So basically 360-degree blade rotation.
Yeah. Well, more like 180, I guess, because it's only from one side to another. Well, or should I have it so it spins? That could be interesting. More difficult.
A 180-degree sphere of rotation, though, isn't actually a sphere. If you're able to go anywhere in either direction all the way up to the opposite end, that's still 360-degree rotation.
Ooh, blade trail sounds fun. Yeah, essentially making able to move. Yeah, well, I suppose if anywhere around the barrel would be good, because then I could swing it in any direction.
We'll discuss that more off screen and figure out the details a bit more, probably with a couple sketches or something. In the meantime, I'll give a tentative yes and say that that's what you are able to spend your week on, doing all of the designs, putting all of the schematics together, so the next time that you have some off time, you're able to completely build the weapon from the ground up.
I'm gonna make the biggest fucking caliber.
Until that time, you'll be using your current weapon, and I'm going to assume you're keeping the schematics inside of your warehouse so they don't get lost. Cool.
Probably in the workshop area, which I believe I purchased.
With all that in mind, I'd say that wraps up everybody's week, right?
Can I like roll during the week because someone else had been making this for me, right? So in the warehouse, can I do the spring cleaning for my house and stuff and put everything in order? And while doing that, because spring cleaning, usually you find shit you haven't seen before in years. Can I take that as like a time to look for things that shouldn't be in the warehouse, like because I'm still I'm really too chaotic and about things being left in here by other people.
Absolutely. Go ahead and roll for sense.
It's like, oh right, it's I don't need to look at it. Yeah. Okay.
Damn.
Yeah.
2 degrees of success, pretty good. As far as you can tell, there doesn't seem to be anything that's hidden in a way that's like designed to spy on you or anything. There's no objects that seem out of the ordinary, and even if there was, there's a good chance that they were destroyed as a result of the detonation, given the fact that most monitoring devices would have been small scale, probably have like little glass viewports and the like. The detonation caused by Jackalope when he did that, which blew out all of your windows, would also have destroyed any listening devices.
I am very satisfied with that. Thank you.
Okay, so along with that, your place is more or less put back together. You clean up all the glass. You don't really have the ability and know-how to reinstall new glass windows, but you're not going to slash your hands on anything because it's all cleaned up. Your pictures are all, they're pretty fine. Some of them are a little creased and crinkled around the edges, but nothing's damaged or anything like that, and you're able to get everything back in order.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, and I do believe that now that wraps up everybody's week.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Then, approximately 1 week after
Beer bear.
the jackalope incident, or what's up?
He'll be right back.
Okay. About 1 week after the jackalope incident, everyone's more or less chilling, relaxing, when the boss, the particularly large man, just calls for your group to assemble.
Mm-hmm.
Safe to assume everyone gathers together?
Yep.
Yeah.
As you do, you arrive and you spot that he is there alongside. Let me just make sure that I'm using the right name. I think it's
You on the right map?
Not yet. At the moment, I'm still dragging out the
Fair.
things so that I have the bigger. What did I name him? There we go. That's what I named him. And click. Pallet and the boss are both there inside the main area, waiting on your crew to assemble.
Cool.
As you all arrive, you can see that Pallet is scrolling through her scroll and looking over some amounts of information. It's hard to tell what it is from the angle that you're looking at. The only one who could make a sense roll based on the thing would be the one with the supernatural senses, Lynn. If you'd like to try and read whatever it is she's looking through, you can try.
I ain't gonna bother.
I am nosy. I am nosy.
2 degrees of success, you are able to read it. She's reading information on a local group. It's labeled The Family. However, you notice that there's also an identifying number. It seems to be 7-1, not 71. So The Family 7-1 is currently highly active inside of a local area. She seems to be reading up on a recent incident that appears to have involved a large collection of Grimm suddenly coming together, only to then be slaughtered en masse.
Jeez.
So, like, good guys who slaughtered, like, the Grimm? Or did I get that wrong?
The morality of Grimm slaughter is not exactly a difficult thing. They seem to be a group of individuals who are explicitly going out of their way to hunt down Grimm and to cull the local Grimm population. The documentation itself does not pass any moral judgments on whether or not it's a good group doing it, but it does mean fewer Grimm.
Which I feel like is a good
excuse me.
thing.
What's that?
Did we? Was she the? Did we find the missing girl? The.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Because this is like it was like a whole thing, and it was like, did we do that?
Yes, it kind of got distracted by the whole Minotaurist fight scene thing, but yes, the person who was looking for Jackalope did return safely.
Oh, Rust?
Cool.
No, Rust, different from Rust. It was Pallet, the person who's in fact right next to the boss. She did return safely.
Right.
Cool.
Here it gets to waifu.
It's at the moment she's continuing to look through those files while the boss looks over each of you. We have a new mission from M.
Oh.
Cool. Huh?
As I'm sure you're aware, this cathedral is a dilapidated place of prayer. It was left behind by individuals who tragically died while worshipping the Grimm. Information regarding this place and what we found here is classified. Nonetheless, we would like you to find more information like it. You notice that there's some distaste to the way he's phrasing it. Like he doesn't enjoy the way he's talking around a subject. Approximately 93, he looks to Pallet, who gives a small nod. 93 kilometers east by... Yes. Mostly east. You'll find another location similar to this one, a dilapidated cathedral, in which case you're going to need to investigate it to find information contained inside of a series of plaques. They'll be found inside of underground levels that don't appear to be there naturally. Destroying several walls should be more than enough for you to gain access to the underground location. Be warned that you will be moving through territory owned by certain families, as well as large grim hotspots. The cathedral itself is also surrounded by a considerable number of grim. Most notably, it would seem that a powerful grim, not unlike the Minotaurus that you fought, may be keeping domicile within that church. If you're able to gather information from there, that would be excellent. That is what we are currently... M is requesting images taken of any structures or writing.
Is he really like chewing on that, or was that you purposely, unpurposely?
He is. He's continuing to go over the words. It seems like he knows a lot more than he's allowed to say and is continuously trying to talk around it.
Okay.
If you spot any writing, regardless of the language, document it, save images to your scroll, and provide them to me, and I will provide them to M. It is recommended against that you attempt to decipher any words or meaning involved in any of the writing.
We'll keep that in mind.
Pallet slowly lowers the thing. In short, go to the church, document what you find, take pictures of any fancy runes you see, and bring them back here. If you understand what the words say, pretend you don't, because we are required to report that to the boss. The other boss, M, I mean. So if you know what it says, lie through your teeth, and then talk to me afterwards.
Okay.
All right. Well,
And that's the
definitely
boss
keep
nods.
that in mind.
Officially speaking, I do not condone or agree with anything that Pallet has just said.
Cool.
Reassuring.
Pallet gives a nod. It's red tape. It's red tape. We're grunts. You're fine.
Cool. All right. Do we have a time
Any
limit?
questions about the location? Oh, time limit? We weren't given one. Take less than 2 weeks. Like,
Fair enough.
I feel like that's pretty reasonable. It's
Alright.
like 93 kilometers. That's not even that far.
Fair enough.
Any questions about anything?
So we're going through what you said. Families own the land around it. No, in it. So we're going
Yes.
through.
So it's family-owned land, and not family with a lowercase f, family with an uppercase.
Oh, they're rich.
You're new here.
Yes.
Would I know
Hunter
of
is the
them?
only one who would have the information here, so I'm going to say roll... Actually, 3d6. Because you are a hunter in this region, working for Shade, you have a much higher chance of knowing this information. You only need 1 success.
Okay.
Meanwhile, the rest of you are
36.
drop-ins, as I recall.
Yep.
Family.
All in 1 success. Whew.
Yeah, 1 success. So the family is a broad, vague term. Basically, throughout all of the areas, there are certain regions where people have more or less come to a similar conclusion. Slaying Grim is necessary for survival. Generally speaking, most of these small families ended up, like all the small families that are on the outskirts of Shade, none of them really have designated names or anything. The families that did grow really big and become powerful Grim hunting groups ended up conglomerating into a single location. They all came together to form what is now known as the city-state of Mistral. This is in itself run by, think like mafia triad, sort of like these families that work together and maintain a hold over peace and the like in that area. The families that didn't become large enough to join alongside Mistral, these small fringe groups that have a wide variety of different hunting styles for Grimm, they're just casually referred to as families with an uppercase F. The land in question is owned by these families who will often do all sorts of odd things. Sometimes they're really kind and beneficial to those that walk into the area. Sometimes they are unabashed murder machines who will kill anything on their land, regardless of circumstances. It depends on the family.
I'm essentially going to relay that.
And who is owning the lands that we're going through, or could be going through?
Well, if you want a straight path, you're going to be moving through a region, almost all land that's owned by Family 7-1, which is, it's a geographic marker. Not too much is known about this one. We do know that they're very good at hunting Grimm, and we know that they wear masks. Specifically, they wear masks in the style of Grimm very frequently, especially when they're on the hunt. They're vicious and violent and wild, but from what I've seen from reports, if you encounter them when they're not wearing their masks, they're very nice. But if you do see masks, expect combat almost immediately.
Slowly raise his hand.
What's the question?
Can we kill them? In self.
Are you asking, like, legally? Because I think I've seen you fight. You're strong enough to kill them.
If they try stabbing us, are we allowed to stab them back?
Oh yeah, no, that's easily going to be ruled as self-defense. Like,
All right,
if they
cool.
attack first, you're fine. If you launch the first attack, you're probably still also fine. We're in the outskirts of Mistral. Like, there's not a police force here.
Oh,
You can
I'm
commit
aware.
crimes. Just don't let them link it back to us.
What if we, I don't know, perchance we do decide to run away instead of battling? Who are the families that are beside this straight path, the 7-1?
Let's see. South of them, you can find family 7-2. They're larger, but they're more, I guess you could say, tame. I've heard a lot of rumors surrounding them that they're a lot more normal, but they've got a lot of, what's the word? Like, spunky hotshots. There's a weird term for that. That's like the people who are ready to get into fights and are stupid idiots about it. Pick fights that they don't realize that they have no chance of winning. Dipshits. That's the word. They're idiots and dipshits. So if you pick a fight with them, you're probably going to win. But I assume that you might have moral issues with kicking the crap out of idiot teenagers.
A little bit.
So, you know, if you don't have any moral issues, it's a slower route, but it's guaranteed to be safer. And let's see, that's 7-2. If you try and go through a more northerly direction in order to try and bypass it, you're going to end up hitting group 6-14. 6-14 is a much smaller faction, but they have a surprisingly large amount of land that you'd have to go through. They're known for taking down very large-scale Grimm, to the point where most things like Goliaths don't usually go through their territory unless they have to. They might leave you alone entirely, but if they don't, they might be more dangerous than 7-1.
Sheesh.
So for running, we go to the south. Okay.
Yeah, if you want to escape, escaping to the south is probably for the best. Be warned, families often get into fights involving territory and, like, stuff involving that, so there's also a chance that you might end up starting a turf war if you do that. Which, in my opinion, sounds like a great idea, because they'll be too distracted to track you down. There might be ramifications and consequences to your actions, though, so you've been warned.
Got it. And do they know that this dilapidated cathedral exists, or?
No clue. like I'm not sure what they know. Like I can gain information about certain rumors through documentation and information that's contained inside of certain forums, and I can gain information about recent news reports. But when it comes to like what information they have, I can't exactly pull that up on the net, you know?
Is
So-
it that the... Yeah, is it...
Hmm?
Oh, go ahead.
There you go.
Well, I was gonna say, is it like above land, or is it like we go down another cavern or hole and there's the dilapidated cathedral?
So the cathedral is above ground, and so it's basically like this place. We had a cathedral located here, and it seemed pretty normal. However, we were informed that there was information that wasn't going to be easily accessible. So what we did was we broke down some of the walls when we first checked them, you know, slamming things against the stone walls and listening to how the echoes sounded. We broke down the walls, found some more caverns, and we found a lot of information here. So that's kind of the expectation here. You're probably going to find an above-ground cathedral, and you're going to have to deal some damage to the area, preferably without leveling the place, in order to gain access to some underground rooms that probably have the hidden information.
Oh man, destroying historic landmarks? Oh, that makes me feel bad. It's like throwing down a book that's been, around for a long time.
Well, you don't have to do like a lot of lasting damage. Like if you look around here, for the most part, you can tell this place is broken down and busted, but not really because of our efforts. We were pretty careful about it. I'd love to say that it was because we care about the historical authenticity of it, but it's actually because we were so terrified that blowing things up would cause the whole place to cave in and kill us that we were extra careful about it. So I don't recommend explosives because it is a dilapidated church, and
Yeah.
it could crash around your ears.
Should I take the assumption that we should not run Fluffy through the entire area in which they specifically hunt Giant Grim?
Oh, well, we can put him in the warehouse because we can use the if anyone else got the shrink book ability, which is you can just shrink bigger things. So if he doesn't fit into the portal of the warehouse, you can just shrink him and then he can chill out. Oh wait, no.
Interestingly enough, this is where Katie could probably pipe in about what she learned about her powers this week.
Yeah,
Oh.
I've just been like holding like this tiny little tiny Fluffy, just like give him scratches in like the corner of the look. I was like, huh? Yeah,
my
just
goodness.
shrink him, put him in my coat, pet
Oh
him.
my goodness, that's so adorable.
So what you're telling me,
Jackalop's
Katie,
gonna-
is that my bullet is bigger than him now.
Yeah, that's why I'm putting him in my coat.
Jackalope's gonna stare at this. You literally have pocket sand.
And attack.
Pocket sand pulls out, your entire thing flows in the air, and they're like, huh? Turns into a 16-foot tall fucking bear. Huh?
Like sand pulls out a gun from my pocket.
Fluffy, Katie is just like, just like listen, it's like, Fluffy, I choose you, and then
Oh,
just
yeah.
like eats Fluffy and like turns back into the bear, and
Oh
just
my
like
God.
turns into
Tiny
like
giant bear. He turns into
Right.
fucking Sonic spinning through the air as he grows.
Let's see. I think that's the only thing. For what kind of gear do we need to be able to investigate this fully? Like, do we need like black lights or something to see hidden images that used to be there? Something?
Probably not. I don't think there should be any reason for that. Anything that blacklight would pick up would probably be a bit more recent. We're talking like carvings etched into stone by people with chisels, like hundreds of years ago. I don't think a blacklight's going to pick up that much unless someone recently has been going through and examining it. In which case, I guess you might pick some stuff up. Basically, I don't think you'll need that. As for gear, we can give you a drill. It'll be a more of a. Actually, we don't need to give you one of the very small drills. Your weird portal thing with the room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We can probably just give you a larger not like industrial grade drill, but something large enough to be able to bore through at a reasonable pace, as long as you can store it inside of that house of yours.
Oh yeah. Wait. Does the house encompass the entire? I thought it was like just kind of like offset to one side.
It is what she doesn't have a good understanding of exactly what your thing is.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I think we can do that.
Okay, then we'll pack you with a large electronic drill to be able to get through. It'll probably bore through it a lot more safely than if you were trying to carve your way through the walls. Just take care not to hit anything load-bearing with it.
Get in the drill.
Hit ones the support beams, yo.
You drill through a support beam, and I'm not going to be the one fishing your body out of the rubble.
Oops.
Let's see. If there's anything else you need, like other gear requisitions before you head out, I can see what I can do. If you've got any other questions, I can try and answer them, but that's all that's on my head.
Katie just like looks up from scratching the tiny fluffy and just like, okay, so I wasn't paying that much attention, but from what I gather, we go to the place, take the pictures, kill people, get the stuffs, drill things, start a war, hug Grim, and then we head back with pictures and cool archaeological some such.
So firstly, I'd prefer if you didn't start a war. If you have to, then do it. I don't care that much, but I prefer if you didn't. And secondly, I'm confused on why you had a question mark at the end of Hug Grim. I've seen enough of you to know that it's not a question mark, it's a period. It's a statement. I've given up on it.
Yeah.
I will abstain from hugging the Grim, thank you.
That's for the best. I don't think that I've seen the way Fluffy eyes you. It's better that way.
I did shoot him.
Yeah,
Cool.
you kind of abstain from hugs after that.
All right. Any other questions?
But I'm sure
no.
you can make up with him if you want. You can like say sorry. Look at his cute little eyes.
Yes.
That holds up the.
Yes, you've got a question, or yes, you can look in his eyes. She asks Jackalope.
Well, you can look in his eyes if you want.
I will do that later. But can we take the medic?
Oh, you want the medic?
If I lose another arm, I'd rather not die.
But
We
then you'll
can
have two
cauterize
cool
it.
robot arms.
I mean, you could probably grow it back right in 2 weeks if that's like the max amount of time.
Here, I'll ask her. If she's ready, then sure, I can send her with you. But it depends on her status.
Alright.
She
I'm gonna
types into
write
the
down that.
scroll. So,
winner is Grim.
Yeah, around a minute passes before she looks. Yeah, she should be good to tag along. She's a non-combatant through and through, so you're probably going to have to protect her. But she'll also be able to heal you in combat and heal you out of it as well, as long as you watch her back. Are you all fine with taking her on?
I'm good with that. As long as she
Heck
keeps him
yeah.
alive, we should be good.
If it means I can attack at full force, yes.
As long as she can keep up.
You know, I'm not even gonna question it.
Good.
You and she just eyes your prosthetic arm for a moment before shaking her head. I've given her the information. She'll be here any minute.
Cool.
Any closing questions, or?
I shake my head.
Cool. Then once she's here, y'all can ship out about 93 kilometers in a mostly eastwardly direction from here. I assume that you got all of your scrolls back a few days ago?
Yeah.
Which y'all did.
They took
Cool.
y'all scrolls?
Well, we didn't need yours, Jackalope. We had to check them for security reasons, but we literally gave you yours, so we already know it's clean.
Fair.
All right. She taps a few more buttons, and everyone's scrolls ping. All right, that's the coordinates that you're going to need to go to. Just keep an eye on the map, and you should be fine. Last closing warning, there's a forest that surrounds the cathedral. I hear that people get lost in it fairly easily. I don't know, don't get lost.
I'll be fine.
Cool. Briefing's done. Later, folks. Try not to die.
Bye.
Do scrolls have? I know that they said that in the description, scrolls aren't very good at in-forest reception. So do we have like where can I take? What are those things that compass? There we go. My goodness.
Yes. Yeah. So for a compass, you'd be able to get one easily.
Cool. I was just gonna ask for compasses, flashlights, and matches because matches you can read if there's any oxygen leaving the room or stuff like that. So.
Cool. Those are all fairly easy to requisition things, so I'm going to say yes, you're able to get all of that.
Nice.
Feel free to write it down so that somewhere inside of it so that you know that you have those in your inventory.
I'm just going to assume that we have maps.
Yes, they're on your scrolls.
Cool. That's what I figured.
Ooh, just in case, can I get an extra map to put in the warehouse?
Physical map? They don't have spare physical maps.
Oh, do they have a spare scroll?
Not that they're going to give you for free.
Can I
Okay,
just
I'll
have
just
a
store
nice
my
scroll to
scroll.
shove in my fucking warehouse?
You need one that's at least somewhere safe. So
Okay.
Opens out portal, fucking football throws into the warehouse.
yeah.
Any more equipment requisition from any of the players?
Nope.
Is everyone good with that stuff?
No, I'm good.
I'm alright.
Okay. Then with that, y'all are able to head out and start heading in an eastwardly direction.
We're going somewhere east. Up or down, who knows?
All right. High is better for your team. Low, okay. Your luck roll is a 5.
Oof.
Middle ground.
I wouldn't say that 5 is middle ground.
Oh, out of 20? Oh, I thought it was out of 10.
You're like,
So-
yes, the middle of 20, a 5.
Okay, now let's
I went to
see.
school.
See, our luck is
Damn.
gonna be us just ramming into every single wall that we see.
Did I? Yeah, I
Yeah.
wonder if I could stay flying up so I could see this around, or if that's a bad idea.
Aren't your wings
People don't want me
injured?
to. No, they got better.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, over the course of the week, her wings are now better. Since
turned me
she didn't lose them entirely, so it doesn't take longer than a week for the full recovery.
I got better. She got better.
She got a lot better, sir.
Yeah,
She turned me
Lynn,
into a newt.
roll.
Sense.
Yeah, roll sense.
I was like, roll? What do you want from me? Oh no.
Wow.
Do you end up taking to the skies to keep a closer eye on things?
Yes.
Okay. So as you're up in the skies, you're all keeping an eye on the map, of course. You're able to tell when you enter into the territory. Were you heading straight east? Were you heading northeast or southeast? Like, which territory do you want to go through?
I would head straight.
We're all deciding to head straight. Is everyone okay with that?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay. So you're going through. So it's been about 5 minutes since you entered 7-1 territory, and from the seams of things, everything is fairly quiet. Earlier, you were largely inside of more of a flat, plains-like area, but you're noticing that more and more plants and greenery are growing in the surrounding area. You're not too distant from the opening of what appears to be the start of a forest. Something does feel a little bit off in the air, but you can't really identify what. If you continue staying inside of the air, Lynn, you will end up...
Yeah, I was gonna say, can I I decide to at certain points that I would, if we're losing our way, I would try to pop up in the air. I think it'd be better to stay hidden on the ground, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I'll keep track of the map, and I'll essentially start leading the team, as Hunter has far too much experience inside forests.
Since I would I have left a? Would you guys have thought that I should leave a portal back at base, or I'm thinking that for quick escapes, I should leave like a portal behind us sometimes so we can get away a little faster from things immediately in front of us,
That'd be quite smart.
like a half a mile apart or something.
Yeah, that would work. Maybe at like the beginning of this
Yeah.
forest for easy
Yeah.
extract.
I'll leave one here at on the ground, like behind a tree, right in the front of it, and
Mhm.
then we'll see.
Hope no squirrels find their way in there.
They can't. It's locked. They can't get in.
Gets
That'd be
hit by
funny,
a
though.
bird due to sheer bad luck. Fly through the sky. Ow, bird.
Fly like a bird. Bird.
Katie, roll 2d6.
Yeah.
2 successes. You feel specifically uncomfortable in this area as a result of Abyssal Cuties. Abyssal Cuties is giving you weird messages right now, basically saying that you're in danger. But it's exclusively that ability. Nothing else seems to be setting anything off.
Fancy. Yeah, Hunter's just in the front leading.
I kind of like look about and like see if I need to like hide or duck or something.
It's not like a, oh, you're about to be attacked style danger, more like a creeping sense of dread. This place does not feel nice as a Grim.
I kind of like heal Yammer. It's like, hey, yo, guys, I feel a creeping sense of dread.
Just I'll put my hand on my fucking gun.
Nobody else feels that feeling.
Any particular reason why?
Well, it kind of feels like, you know, like as like the Grim lover part of me, you know, it's just like, I don't know, this place don't feel nice. It's not comfy. No comf.
By the way, you said you were keeping Fluffy in your shirt?
Yeah, like in my little coat.
You can also feel that he is getting antsy.
Fluffy doesn't like this place either.
Are you sure it's safe for them to be out? Because what if they can detect that Grim are in the area, and that's why you're feeling that way? Can you... Will he still be, like, sentient if you can... What is it? Disapparate him?
I think he'd die.
Oh, goodness. Well, we don't...
Well, he's on the inside coat pocket, so he's, like, on the inside, so he's, like, kind of hidden, so... Like, if they try to shoot him, they'd have to shoot me first. And I kind of like living.
So liquefying him isn't an option?
No. That'd be Moida.
And if you're feeling it, are you hurt Grim at all? Or just that feeling of, like, empathy towards... and that power?
I think it's, like, kind of, like... I don't know, it's, like a part of me. It's like Spidey sense. But like, flip. Grim die here. Grim don't like this place. So I think we're getting closer.
Okay, well, yeah.
Well, if we meet people with Grim masks, don't shout out, I love Grim.
No promises.
Just like rolling.
I just keep on healing.
You continue along as the feeling does not get stronger, but it doesn't fade away either. It isn't long before you find yourself in a much thicker forest. You can't really see too far ahead of yourself, with the exception of Lynn, who can see about 3 to 4 times as far as most of you due to her special vision. But even she can't see more than about 40 feet ahead.
Jeez. Stick close,
all
folks.
of you trying to look through all of the trees is just not feasible. This place is tightly packed.
Keep close, folks. We don't want to lose our way, especially not while following this map.
Yeah.
Real tempted about now to just start blowing my way through these trees. This is ridiculous.
Forests like these are pretty fun to go through when you're being chased by stuff, but kind of boring when it's just a walk.
Hunter, roll dex.
Okay. Alright. Sure.
Kind of boring.
We don't say the boring word around these parts.
He does. That's
He shouldn't.
Really
There's
should.
a sharp sound from the scroll in your hand as it ends up vibrating sharply. A small spark seems to fly off of it, and due to the shock, you end up dropping the scroll.
Oh.
It ends up bouncing against one of the roots and going off to the side. It seems to be malfunctioning.
Huh.
Oh,
Mm.
dang it.
Oh,
Wait, is that all of ours?
No, it's just Hunter's one.
oh, bend
Can I
down
put-
and
Nobody
grab
else
it.
currently has theirs open, or at least nobody has cited that they've kept it open. Hunter
Yeah.
was using his as a map, so
Mhm.
his was active at the time.
Oh, bend down and grab it and look at it.
You note that it seems to just be a locked screen on the map. Even if you try and move it around and the like, it doesn't seem to show any movements from the map.
Huh.
It won't be good for navigating.
Open.
Well,
That's
not
that's
fair.
annoying.
Creepy.
Oh well, I'm gonna like look at where I was on the map, and then I'm gonna look ahead and be like, I can probably navigate the rest of the way, and kind of like store it.
Okay.
Stay close.
Since it's a still
Oh,
image.
my
correct?
scroll killed
Yes, it is
itself.
a still image.
Mm-hmm.
You all continue marching through.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Relying
you go
on my
along-
hunter sense.
I'm assuming that you are all moving at a much slower pace in order to make it so that you can keep track of your location and so you don't crash into any trees or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. I mean, we don't exactly have a time limit.
You'll continue to slowly make your way through. After a bit, it becomes... something feels a bit off. Hunter, you said you were leading the group?
Mm-hmm.
That you will roll sense here.
Yeah, okay. Which I believe is also at 2. God, seriously?
Something feels off, but you can't put a finger on it.
No, I really can't sense. I
Oh,
can't look
go and
around.
kind of stop
Right now,
and look around.
depends on whether or not you're like. So the thing is, he's leading the group at the moment. If he brings up the fact that something feels odd, then you can definitely roll sense.
Yeah,
as it is.
considering his lovely, years in the forest, he's gonna stop and kind of like stand there for a moment, listen to the sounds, and he's gonna like tilt his head towards Lynn. Do me a favor and fly up. See
So
if
you
we're going the
stating
right
that you're
way.
explicitly listening for sounds.
Yes,
You don't hear anything.
actually, hold on.
No rustling, no leaves shifting, no movement from the wind, no sounds of insects, no bugs, no cicadas, no cockroaches, no weird scurrying sounds, nothing.
We're in danger.
Maybe in danger.
Take a
Okay,
listen. What do you hear?
Nothing.
Aye. No forest animals, no bugs, no insects. There's only one thing that causes everything to scare away like this, and that's a hunt. Or something very, very dangerous.
Well, now that I've clicked GM roll and enter, that's not a high enough roll. There's a crack of a branch being stepped on from no less than 20 meters behind you.
Yeah, I'm just immediately gonna pull out my gun, aim it towards them. Fucking big ass barrel.
There's too many trees for you to be able to see exactly who did that. The sound seems to have bounced off the trunks of the trees in order for you to be able to hear it. You can tell it came from behind you, but with everything in the way, you can't see.
We're being
Got it.
followed.
That means I wouldn't be able to see a heat signature if I took some steps around.
Not at the moment. They're not close enough for that.
I pull out my guns.
And meanwhile, Jackalope, he's always armed.
Ah,
I am always armed.
Healer, get in the middle.
Wait, would I be able to see the heat signature if I used the scope of my rifle or anything?
You would not. The scope of the rifle would just zoom in on the trees that are in the way.
I see. Okay.
Listening to the order, Yukari immediately gets into the middle of the group to be protected by the rest of you.
Take a listen, Lynn. Do you hear anyone?
I currently don't see anything.
Roll sense, since he's requesting it of you.
Ears can work better than eyes, especially in a forest.
Ow, I almost was a 6. Damn.
Yep.
You can't hear where it is, but listening, you can hear that there's something. You can just barely hear a shift in a leaf from an exhalation of breath before they breathe in again, and then it's silent. Whatever it is a breathing life form.
Can I shoot near that?
Yes, you can. Roll dex to try and shoot at it.
Well, I'll say there first, and
Mhm.
then I'll try, and then I'll shoot it to see if they like are gonna scurry or something.
Okay.
What was that? Oh, that's Dex.
Mhm.
Yep.
Dun dun.
Okay.
When she says there, I
Mhm.
also I shoot my gun.
Okay, if you're also
At,
shooting, then you should also roll dex.
Yep, I think it was a
Dun, dun,
3.
dun.
I'm taking a tree
Yes.
out of the ground.
You out of the ground?
Just lifting a whole ass
sorry.
tree.
Yeah.
Okay. That'll be a strength roll. And
Fuck you,
since you're using
tree.
your weaker arm, you will have a 1 penalty. Katie did not roll so good.
Yeah.
Fuck you, tree.
Okay. And Sin, are you doing anything?
I'm keeping track of everything just in case I need to use my shield or shoot someone so holding an action.
Okay. As you fire towards the source of the sound, the tree itself, first Katie's shots go wide and end up hitting a fair few trunks, as well as cutting down some of the branches as they fall, but it doesn't seem to hit anything in particular. Meanwhile, Lynn's shot ends up punching a hole clean through one of the trees and even going through a couple more trunks, but it doesn't seem to have landed a hit on whatever it was. It doesn't seem to have actively scurried away. You can't exactly tell where it is. You can't tell if it moved or even if it's still in the same location.
I'm
I
going
heard
to
it breathing. I'm gonna say, and then can I use my gravity on that area
Yes.
to push it up into the air quickly?
Okay. Using your gravity, you just kind of invert gravity in that general area. Things would move upwards, and you can see a fair few branches go up. That does directly confirm that it had to have moved out of that zone.
It moved,
Oh.
and then I cancel the gravity.
Oh no, now I'm going to call out. We know that someone's around. I would deeply suggest you make yourself known.
We don't want to fight.
We do
Speak
not
for
like-
yourselves.
Okay, I look.
There's a small click. Specifically, a rock lands near your feet, just landing there. It seems to have bounced off of at least one of the trunks, making it hard to tell exactly where it came from. But it doesn't seem to have been an attack. It's hard to tell what the purpose was, but whatever this thing is, it just threw a rock near your feet.
Throw 2 rocks if you're dangerous, another one if you are not.
No rocks are thrown.
Undecided then.
Why would it throw a rock if it... Why would it do what you asked?
I shrug. It made itself known. It seems to be undecided, so... Currently not trying to attack us. So... We keep moving.
It might be from the family. Could be a border patrol.
Could be watching,
yeah.
could be spying. In either case, it's not seeming to attack us, and we can't seem to find it to kill him. So we keep moving.
It's not like we want to kill them, but yeah.
I shrug. I'd rather keep them alive, but if they attack us,
We're
well,
kind
not
of in their
this
land, you know. You're a little obtuse about it.
Well,
I have a gun.
Yes, you do.
I'll put my gun back on my back and turn back to the direction I was facing originally. And just continue forwards. Come along, not wasting daylight.
I'm not gonna. I'm gonna keep an eye on the back of us.
Lynn, roll sense.
Oh, 6.
Head pats for Katie. Hey.
Hey.
As you start following Hunter, you notice something a bit off. Namely, that as you are moving forward, you move by a tree that is, to your eyes, decisively familiar.
Hold up.
Hmm.
Have we gone by here before? Is this like a loop thing, or?
Well, I turned 180 to see him, and I turned 180 again to continue where I was facing. So, we should be heading in the same direction. Do you want to scout above?
Sure. Are there even any landmarks that
If we
my
got
eyes
into
would catch?
more dense forest here, that means that we had less dense forest back. So if we find the less
Technically
dense
speaking,
forest, it should.
There's also the fact that you know the time of day. It's currently afternoon.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
If you
right.
fly into the air, the number one landmark is the position
Is
of the sun.
Mhm.
Besides that, there's nothing else like really in the distance that would like give you a landmark besides like what, mountains or something?
There could be mountains. The question is, do you take to the air through the treetops?
I'll do so, but with being cautious of what the person around us is going to try to do once I get off into the air.
Okay. All right. So if you're carefully moving upwards, roll a dex check to see basically your sneaking.
Sneaky.
Yeah.
As you get to the top area, you can see that you haven't exactly been moving in a straight line, but you haven't been getting turned around too much either. It's mostly the shape of the forest and the fact that as you have to move left and right to weave in between the branches and the trunks, it's impossible to have a perfect view of exactly which direction you're going at a time.
Okay. So we're still going forward, I say to the group below. Have I broken through the top of the trees?
Yes, that's how you're kind of able to tell that you're still advancing.
Okay.
Now, it does occur to you that the easiest way to know for sure which direction you're going from is to jump from the tops of the trees and continuously move forward as hunters. It'd be a lot faster, but it would also be more dangerous.
Should we... Maybe we should put ourselves above the treetops, I say to the group below.
I won't look at the healer.
I am trained as a hunter, even so I can still keep up with you. As long as we're not under attack.
I'll nod. We'll go up to the treetops. If anything bad happens, drop immediately.
Alright.
Google.
Katie, roll dex.
I.
Okay.
Yay, good job.
Yay.
Very strange luck today.
Okay, so Katie, as you're moving up to the treetops, something does reach out to try and grab you by the ankle. However, specifically, you do not feel any form of threat from it. Mainly because it appears to be some kind of grim.
Hi. How you doing there? What does it look like?
All you can make out at the moment is a tendril of black inkiness that is trying to reach out to grab your ankle. I assume you use abyssal cuties in an attempt to commune?
Yes.
All right. There's one thing for certain that you absolutely know. It is trying to prevent you from going above the treetops.
Hey guys, I think it might be a bad idea to go up above the treetops.
Okay.
Oh.
I'll go back.
Yeah,
I'll
this
go down and we can talk about this first.
yeah, the little grim thing is like trying to tell us it's a bad idea.
Is this what I felt before, this presence, or?
The grim does not breathe. This you're definitely sure of.
This is not what I felt before. This isn't breathing, and the other thing was.
Let's see. It has 2 decks. The other has 3 decks. No successes on either case.
Wow.
The Grim sharply recoils backwards and is no longer reaching for your ankle as a small blade shears through the area right where the Grim had been. The Grim appears to have ducked underneath the ground, sinking into the dirt and moving into some sort of almost worm-like tunnel system to avoid having just been impaled. No, having to avoid getting impaled.
Hey, what's
Lynn,
doing today?
you can hear that whoever threw that knife is the one that was breathing.
Okay, looks like it was. Yep. Yeah, it looks like
Definitely
it's the
family
patrol
member.
family. Okay.
No wonder they aren't trying to attack us directly. They might not see us
So-
as a
Now,
Grim threat.
Lynn, have you fully gone back under the canopy? Or are you still...
She did want me to come down, so I did go down below the canopy.
Okay. So with your hearing, you're able to hear the soft flapping of wings, some sort of wing beat, off in the distance. It seems to have been approaching, but now that you've gone back under, it is now going away.
That must be what it was trying to. What Dave there was trying to protect us from.
Dave?
Dave?
Yeah.
Okay. Dave ducked underneath the dirt.
You've named
Uh,
another one.
Okay.
What was that?
Well, is the person that had been breathing, is he moving towards us at all?
He is not.
Do we
He's
feel any
rapidly trying
hostility?
to... he doesn't seem to be moving. You can tell his current location from his breathing, but he seems to be rapidly calming his breathing down. In a few moments, he's likely going to disappear again.
Crap, guys, I can hear him now. Do we want to do anything? Do we want to say anything?
He seems to
Discussion?
be attacking specifically the Grim. He might be seeing us still as, intriguing.
Passerbyers?
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Katie greets him with about as much hesitation as you would expect from a Henderson.
Yeah, that sounds better.
Notice that his breathing does catch for a brief moment. As a heads up, Lynn, you would have enough time to try and alter his gravity if you wanted to attempt to do so.
But don't
will
we
say-
want to keep the peace?
It might be taken as an aggressive action, so it is
I'm
up
not
to you.
gonna do it. I'm not. Yeah, I was like, oh, the peace needs to be kept. I'm not gonna do it.
What you doing? Yeah, I see you.
Once you say
Or at
"I
least
see
the-
you," he increases the distance between two of you, and
Hey,
he
no,
seems to
come
get
back!
out of the. He is now out of Lynn's hearing range.
I just want to talk to you.
Well, he went farther than I can hear. But
Don't worry. Your friendship with otherworldly creatures, apparently does not extend to people we've shot at.
Yeah.
Lynn and Katie, can you both roll sense for me?
I was gonna say, you would be careful. We're not associating with all.
Actually,
Grim.
Katie, give me sense +1.
2s and 3s across the board today.
Really are.
Ellie's able to notice. Ellie, in the dirt, you can see tiny wiggling little bits of what is now named Dave. He seems to poke a little bit of his tendril out from the ground and wiggle it. And after seeing this a few times, it appears he's trying to lead you somewhere. Or more accurately, he's trying to lead Katie somewhere.
Lady, I'm gonna point. I'm gonna try to catch her attention and point downwards while putting my body where the guy had gone. So I'm gonna block the motion.
Okay, Katie, you can spot that Dave is trying to wave you down and direct you to follow him.
I kind of like crouch down and like follow him. It's like, hey, what you doing there? You leaving me somewhere?
I feel like
How
those
are we
guys
going?
just don't find her to be insane after a while.
Yeah.
It's like, hi buddy, how you doing? While walking across the ground like a fucking creepy
Wait
ass
a minute.
terror. Gremlin
Probably
ass.
gets that a lot.
Hey Mr. Grand, how you doing? I'm coming for you.
Oh, goodness.
A few minutes of movement later, you're able to arrive in a spot that feels a bit off. Katie, you're able to figure out why it feels off pretty quickly. It's covered up. trees and the like are shifted around. It's almost like the trees are set up in a way to block the view to make this area very difficult to spot. Lynn, you're able to tell that it's very odd because the trees are not growing the exact same way around here. The way that the roots are moving around, they seem directed. They're more akin to how an orchard would be structured than how nature structures things.
Weird.
I investigate further.
You can spot that the small amounts of the foliage is opened up as Dave splits open a little bit of the branches in order to give you access to what appears to be the entrance to a small cave.
This your house? This your home?
It does not explicitly respond, instead ducking into the cave.
Alright, follow me, guys.
If you say so. I'll walk after her.
Okay. Does everyone choose to enter the mysterious Grim Cave in the woods?
Can I spot anything falling behind us before we all enter?
Roll
Christ,
sense
they're
to see if you
loud.
can spot anything.
Sorry about that. Hey.
You can tell that while there is that person following after you, he's distant enough that if you ducked in quickly, he would not be able to tell where you went.
Let's go quickly, I say, and I'm gonna duck in.
Make sure the healer gets in.
Yukari steps in quickly.
Yeah. I just
Oh.
go into the cave without a second thought.
I assume Hunter follows Yukari, and Jackalope, do you also choose to step into the Sussy Cave?
Yep.
Yep.
Just like trying to think about it. It's like, do I really want to do this?
Do you want to beat the shit out of someone
Well-
outside or beat the shit out of someone inside?
Well,
Hey, we're
there's
not
a-
beating anyone inside of here.
There's
Unless
always
it's there's
the
something dangerous
thing.
besides.
The more you mess about, the more you find out.
Yeah.
True.
As you step in, it's very dark. Let's see. Who is a faunus in this group?
Me.
Okay. Both of you are able to see thanks to the racial feature of night vision inside of faunus.
I have flashlights to give them.
So you give the
Yeah.
requisition flashlight? Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely use one.
Yep.
As you step through, the opening to the cave seems fairly natural until you make it around 30, 40 feet in, and it widens out. And what you spot in the center of it, barely illuminated, is possibly the largest grim you've seen in a long time. It is almost octopus-like. As you can see that the tendril that was named Dave seems to move towards it, having just been one extension of its body.
Wow.
Large chunks of the mask-like structure, bone structure, shift and roil across its body as it shifts around before a huge number of them all come together, in the shape of an eye. At a guess, just the eye structure shape itself is probably around 20 feet wide, as it then locks in to look at all of you.
Good lord.
You're beautiful.
It does not seem to be hostile.
Wow. There really has to be research more on Grimm, just like how they've evolved from their starting point, which was supposed to be all inherent evil.
Its tendrils do move towards your party, as it seems to slowly bring one of them in front of Katie, as though to give her a place to stand.
I move in.
Okay. Do you choose to direct it to try and give footholds to the rest of your party, or do you just go solo for now?
I let them. I let them. Footholds and such.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your graciousness.
At Katie's direction, it does give you all places to stand as well.
Oh. Lovely.
It seems a bit hesitant for Hunter.
Me and Jackalope
specifically.
both just like,
With Hunter, it seems specifically hesitant, but it does raise everyone up. It seems to be trying to show you something, as you can tell from what appears to be carved upon the roof of this cave. At first, you can't really tell what it is until you're able to see that it is words. Not English, though.
Put the flashlight to it and get my little photo cam.
camera phone.
You are able to take pictures of it. You're not sure what language this is. It's nothing you've seen before. After you've all taken a bit of time to look over it, the large octopoidal creature does then proceed to lower you all onto the other side of its body, where there seems to be an exit to the cavern.
Katie, can you communicate with them to like try to have them explain, or if they know what it is?
Can I do that?
You can try, yes. Older Grimm are very much intelligent, but as a heads up, they don't think the way humans do, so communication is difficult. I'd say in order to communicate with it, you'd roll 3d6.
Okay. Hey!
You are able to get a success. You are able to connect with it through abyssal cuties. You are able to try and ask it questions now.
Sup, boy?
I suppose I just kind of start off with like introducing myself. It's like, I'm Katie, that's the red guy, that's the cool guy, and that's Lenene. And this is the goose.
We don't even get names, Hunter.
Who are you?
She's never once called me a proper name.
You haven't started off.
As you ask, who are you, it seems to stop and think for a moment before you just have this pounding headache. A series of images sear through your head, and all that really makes sense is that it is referring to itself as a conceptual entity that protects. The closest translation that you can go with to the series of images, sensations, and thought processes is probably the Guardian.
He says he's the Guardian?
Of what?
I think I'll just call you Dave as a nickname. But that's really cool. Yeah, very nice.
Meets a super-powered ethereal being. Hi, Dave.
You like Dave? Is that alright?
You can sense a faint echo in the air, but that's kind of it. It's probably safe to assume it doesn't dislike it.
Can I record this? Do I have a video camera that I can
Scroll
like
hit record, yes.
Can I? Because this could be like really cool evidence that Grimm aren't what they seem. But I'm not gonna show it to people. I'm just gonna leave it in the warehouse and try to keep it somewhere secret. Is that
I'm gonna
okay?
take a
Actually, I'm
picture
gonna
of
ask
him.
Katie. Katie, is that okay if I record this? But I'm not gonna show anyone.
Is that alright with you, Dave?
It doesn't understand the concept of a recording.
Yeah, it's probably okay.
I'll do that and I'll hide it pretty well.
Don't take a picture of him, so I have photo evidence for myself of a ethereal creature that I've met in the past.
Okay, it is pretty dark. Are you sure you're taking a picture?
We did the flashlights, right? So
Yeah.
Yes, it is still rather dark. The question is it's going to be a very poorly lit image, or he'll have to turn on the flash.
I'm going to ask Katie, is he bothered by bright lights? He is in a cave.
maybe.
Are you bothered by bright lights, Dave? Are you light sensitive?
You can feel a tingling sensation on your skin, like a really bad sunburn in response.
I don't think he likes it very much.
Alright, I'll
Like a
just take a
sunburn.
very poorly lit photo then.
Okay.
Are you sure? But the flash.
Yeah, the poorly lit photos means he's not having flash on.
Oh,
He only
okay,
needs a
okay.
flashlight.
I see.
This is for my own personal evidence that
Ah.
my existence was fulfilled.
As I recall, Lynn asked, "Guardian of what?" Did you want to relay that question, Katie?
Yeah. Yeah. What are you guarding, Dave?
The response to that comes in a series of images, largely chunks of stone that have been carved out. In addition, there's a flash of the image of the writing on the ceiling that you just saw, as well as a large amount of scenes of more writing that you don't know where is from, before there is a one resoundingly firm English word. You're not sure whose voice it is, but it says mother.
Ah. All right. So what he's guarding definitely relates to the writing up there, and something relating to mother. Who's that? Who's mother?
Wings outstretch, white and black seem to envelop the entirety of the sky before scarlet eyes seem to open up, each the size of the entire moon. That is the only image that you're able to receive in response of what is mother.
So wait, was he protecting us from what we saw in the sky? I mean, we almost saw in the sky, or was that a different danger?
If anything was large enough that each of its eyes took up a portion of the sky equal in size to the moon, you'd have been able to sense it far sooner than whatever it was up there. Whatever's up there is not mother.
I see. Okay, so mother's not dangerous to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems to be guarding something related to mother and related to this non-English text.
Are you able to tell me what the writing says? It's not in a language I understand, so.
It reaches a tendril forward and tentatively presses it against your face. At the very least, it's offering to try and right now you are communing with it. It is offering to commune with you. This could be very dangerous, but it is your choice if you choose to accept it.
I accept in a heartbeat.
Okay.
Of course
Do you inform your team that this is what you're doing?
So he's gonna try and speak to me. I don't know what this is gonna do to my mental health or sanity, so just warning you there.
Okay.
No offense
just
meant.
you sit down first,
You're
and
sane?
we'll prop you up.
Okay.
No comment.
All right. You sit down. They prop you up, and the tendrils move forward, and it spreads as it then proceeds to start filling your facial orifices.
Oh. Oh.
It covers over your eyes, your ears, your nose, your mouth, and you can't breathe. But as the connection solidifies, you can feel abyssal cuties latch onto the creature, the guardian. And in that moment, you kind of fade away. God. You asked what it says. It is now telling you what it says. Or more accurately, you can feel something shifting. And you're very well aware that it has now done something to your gray matter.
Oh my gosh.
As that happens, the words that were on the ceiling move through your head, and they shift and pitch and change until they look like English. And you can hear a voice speaking out. Gather brothers, gather sisters, soothe your blisters by the flame. Hold his words inside your heart as you venerate her name. Though our pains may all be different, all our duties are the same. Beneath this broken firmament, we all shall share in blame. A decidedly human voice is what declares that. You're not sure how long you really spent that way or how long it felt, but after a while, the tendrils are removed from all of your face holes.
Oh wow. Is
we're
someone
now
taking notes on like that that
I couldn't even write that down. He usually posts it when he's done, so I'm
Yeah.
just waiting.
So they all retreat, and you become acutely aware that you are now oxygen starved and desperately in need of breath. But at the same time, your brain now can auto-translate the archaic text. Whatever it is, if you see it, you can now understand it and read it aloud.
Alright. I just was like, oh boy! Guys, I just became Google Translate!
As
Oh,
she says that, you note that she is now starting to bleed heavily from her nose.
medic,
Totally worth it!
Yukari.
Medic.
Kari
Healer.
immediately goes about doing the healing. The bleeding does not seem to be deterring Katie's excitement at this, though.
Woo! Alright, I relay what I heard.
Maybe I'm not the craziest person in this group.
You know,
I
I'm
get that a
starting
lot.
to get that.
As someone who's worked in the SCP Foundation, I assume I've probably been through worse than all of my orifices being filled with black gooey stuff.
Generally speaking, if something like that happens to you in the SCP Foundation, you'd be put to the death. Made into a D class. You haven't had anything get this touchy with you before.
Audio is faster than the stream. That's okay. Now it's fine. Cool. I don't know why.
I
it
totally
does
forgot that Yukari was with us. I was like gonna take it, have this be a secret, but then it doesn't matter anymore.
that.
Yeah. While you are still communing with the Guardian is no longer communing with you. And it has answered your question. Those words that I recited were the exact words written on the ceiling.
Hmm.
Okay. Very cool.
Definitely need to
Alright.
post those because I can't remember even half of what it was.
Jesus Christ. Well, that was unpleasant.
I wonder if hers the mother, isn't it?
Yeah, it does seem to be slightly concerned now, the Guardian that is, as it is noticing that you have been injured.
I'm all good, no worries.
Brain can only take so much, I guess.
Yeah. You are now acutely aware, if you attempt another communion with this thing, especially so recently, you're probably going to experience seizures and an aneurysm before dying. It is not recommended that you take it into your body once again. However, you can still potentially ask it questions. However, none of its answers are going to be very clear without that communion.
Okay, alright.
And if any of the other players have questions, you can also serve to direct that way.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let the goop touch me, thank you.
Oh yeah, no, the goop
Same.
ain't gonna touch you. It does not want to touch you. But if you have any questions for the goop, Katie can ask the goop on your behalf.
Yeah.
Is it
Anything else we need to know?
old? It looks old.
I
Is it
think
old? Is that what you have?
Yeah, I asked if it's
How?
old.
I'll ask it, how old are you? That might be a bit more specific.
The response it gives is a single flash of an image. What you see is an unbroken moon.
Oh,
It's been here since, like, before the moon broke. How long is that?
Recorded history.
All of recorded history. Alright, okay.
Yeah, since humans first in this world first began to write things down, the moon has always been broken.
did the Grim break it? The Grim broke it, right? Or something happened?
Do we remember how the moon broke?
There's no writings. Do you try to ask it how the moon broke?
Ask it. How the moon broke?
Do you know how the moon broke?
It viscerally recoils at that question.
Oh,
It
God.
doesn't like that. Okay. All right.
right,
Okay.
But you
Too
know,
mature.
beyond any, like, at the moment, since you're communing with it, you can also experience its emotions to a lesser extent. You experience a terror strong enough that you want to throw up when it thinks about whatever broke the moon.
It doesn't like
Oh.
that. Okay. All right. Okay.
So, wait. Was the thing that broke the moon something against all Grimm, or just like the mother and its children? Or is the mother of all Grimm? I'm not sure.
It doesn't seem to understand the question very well.
Yeah, me either, bro.
Are you asking what it's the mother of?
Sure, yeah. What's the mother of? What's the
Yeah.
mother of the mother of?
What
The
mother
mother
is this?
is the mother of us. It does not seem to know how to draw a delineation or explain what us is. It is basically reaffirming that the mother is the mother.
This is not educable.
It's the mother of all things, I suppose.
Of all Grimm? Can you ask that?
Of
The mother.
Mother of all Grimm, or just the mother of all of everything?
It doesn't understand.
Just the mother. All right.
All right, well,
Right, because Grimm were from the people, right? They like broke off. How did history happen again? I read it.
how
but-
does our knowledge of history happen? I suppose you guys would have a different history than Hunter would. Because your guys' history is the same as your guys' history.
According to what Hunter was taught in the academy, history began when the gods of light and dark created the world. The god of light created humanity, the god of dark created Grimm, and they are created in an infinite dichotomy where they shall fight until the very end, until one slaughters the other to the last. With the power of dust, humanity stood strong enough to be able to push back the forces of darkness and create a world of light for all humans to be able to live and thrive within.
So wait, then that
And-
means that the mother may be like one of those gods, and then maybe his indie thing is like one of the other gods, like the other one.
According to human lore, they are the two brother gods.
Oh shoot.
Other gods broke
Oops.
the moon, and they don't like. And the Octo, Dave, he doesn't like remembering that.
Octodate.
Is there a father? Who's the father?
Is there a father?
There is just a void in response. Not a refusal to response, but the response is the sensation of the vacuum of space. A complete absence of all things.
So it's not like the father doesn't exist, but the father exists as like the absence of all things, while the mother is all things. Is
It is
that
difficult to translate.
okay? So the brothers destroyed the moon.
Presumably, yeah.
It is not able to give you any answer to the question relating to what destroyed the moon, whether it was the brothers or not, due to the fact that it is struck with an overwhelming sense of terror anytime it thinks of that instance.
We probably shouldn't ask about what broke the moon anymore.
Okay, I was interested in history.
She's just
Other
like, I need
questions
my
might be
history
able to be
fix,
answered.
man.
What is its take on humanity? What does it think about humanity? Humans?
Is it gonna drop a hot take on humanity?
So,
Yo, bruh.
you ask it, what does it think of humanity? And you get ambivalence. It doesn't care. That's it.
Doesn't care.
Right? What Katie can tell is that Katie is the only human that has ever attracted its attention. That's it.
Aww.
And it is exclusively because of Abyssal Cuties. It's basically seeing her as a Grimm instead of as a human.
Aww.
Okay. Does it feel like the need to destroy humans, but it doesn't care? So then, how did this war with the Grimm and the humans always keep happening? Wait, is it like the younger Grimm are the ones that are always looking
Fighting?
for violence?
Why do Grimm and humans fight?
Yeah, basically.
The response you get is the image of a tree growing from a acorn slowly all the way to its full size before slowly beginning to wither away and fall apart. Whatever that
Perhaps-
symbolism means, you can attempt to translate, but that is its response.
Hmm.
Humans and Grimm fight because it's a natural thing? Is that what it's basically talking about?
Something about age?
Well, it's like, it could be a metaphor, right? It's growing from an acorn, then you know what trees do. They just grow and then they wither and die, and the cycle goes all over again. Is it because it's a natural thing? I wonder.
Is it natural for humans and Grimms to fight?
It replays
Force
the
of
image of the
nature.
tree.
Not sure. Okay. Okay.
Nature.
Nature. Well, that's not very great, but
Memes, Jack.
Yeah. Oh, the memes.
where's the other the carving that it had played before? Because there were two instances, right? This carving and then another.
It had shown a bunch of other carvings with more lines of dialogue, yeah.
Maybe it could show us images of where the other ones are?
Yeah, where are the other carvings?
When it attempts to show you the location of the carvings, it does not match any image that you've ever seen.
Oh.
It appears to be the depths of night, but the stars do not match. They don't look right. There aren't nearly enough stars in the sky, and the landscape looks nothing alike. At a guess, it is telling you exactly where you can find it, with images of what the place looked like
Eons
When
ago.
it's
before the destruction of the moon.
Oh.
The land has changed since then, so its information on where to go probably is no longer accurate.
Jeez.
So, how? If I had to guess, Dave probably hasn't like. So the last time that Dave saw those carvings was before the moon broke,
How long has he
which
been in this
probably
cave?
means it has. Yeah, how long? So, how long? Well, probably not how long. It would probably just, show the state of time. So, how
What
did you end up in this cave?
The sense of terror isn't as powerful in this moment. He shows you an image of the whole moon, then a single hand reaching out and carving open the moon with its fingers before the point of view shot, like basically the camera and the way that you're seeing things, presumably Dave's eyes, quickly turn to the earth as it begins to carve its way into the ground to hide. It seems that it is hidden inside of the earth out of fear ever since the day that something reached to the sky, grasped the moon with its fingers, and tore it apart.
Jesus.
Ah, jeez.
Whoa. Bro, there are bigger enemies than life itself. Shit, dude. Is this like Cthulhu shit?
I was put down here when someone fucked the moon. It ain't my
Oh.
choice, bruh.
I would hide too, bro. Oh my goodness.
Additionally, what you can also tell, by the way, from the angling, when Dave dove under the earth, it was only the size of a small tree. So it's continued to grow since however long ago that was.
I feel bad for it. Can it fit in your warehouse? Can you take it with you, Katie? Oh wait, you.
And you have a friend.
You could
If you
always
didn't-
ask how large it is.
No, you didn't buy the OnePlus, did you? You can't take it with you. sad.
I think that's... Well, no, it's technically sentient, yeah.
Yeah.
I could try to shrink him, but I don't know if that would be plausible.
Maybe you could do like the snowman in Undertale and take a piece of it with you.
Would you like to try and determine how large he is with your ability?
How large is he? Yeah.
Okay. So when you first reach out to Bissell Cuties to feel his size, the first thing you feel is what's in front of you. Right now, the bottommost portion of its body inside of this massive cave is about 6 stories down. Going upwards, from where you're standing, it's about 3.5 stories up. So what is currently inside of this cave is about 10 stories tall and about just as wide as it is tall. Now, as I'm sure you're familiar with the idea of the giant squid, the tendrils are a little long. You cannot keep track of how many or how long all of the tendrils are. The longest one that you're able to keep track of goes off for about 600 meters before you lose track of it.
Jesus.
And it's about as wide around as a car.
Ow. Okay, I
This
don't
thing
think that's...
is not fitting in your warehouse.
No. Maybe a piece of it could. Can it kind of? It can separate its. If you wanted to, it can separate its memories.
Dave, can you be my pet?
You can take another one with you, if you wanted, of course.
And just shove him
feel
in
bad
your
for
other
it.
coat pocket.
I feel bad for it, knowing that it's just been here all alone.
Yeah.
Interestingly, Katie, despite all this, while it does feel fear and panic and terror at times, it does not feel lonely or alone.
It says it's protecting Mother, but is she like here or like nearby or?
It is
Where
the
is
guardian
Mother?
of something related to the Mother.
Oh, related to the Mother.
Yeah. It's really difficult to understand it. All you know is that it refers to itself as the guardian, and when asked what it's the guardian of, it showed a large number of those monoliths with the letters on them, as well as the image of the Mother.
I think Dave likes being here. I think he does feel fear of like, the whole moon breaking and whatever that thing was, but I think he's pretty content being here. He's not really alone, and he's doing his job. Are you content being here, Dave?
It begins to try to respond before there's a small, subtle shift in it. And since you're communing with it, you can tell what that shift is. Someone is digging a hole in the ground above this cave.
Oh, jeez.
We need to go. Uh-oh.
Sir,
Something's
you're
here.
about to have a very bad day.
Yeah, we're protecting Dave. Something's here.
Wait, but if we direct it away from us, shouldn't we be like go outside and try to get them to
Wait, if he
follow us
digs
and
through
stuff?
the ceiling, he's gonna break the layers and shit.
That is correct. If he does, whoever is trying to dig through, if they succeed, they're going to destroy the last of the lettering on the ceiling in the process.
Wait, so then we need to go around and stop it, or?
We need to
What's the
get up to
quickest
them
way
and
to-
stop them.
What's the quickest way to get up there?
Yeah.
You're immediately filled with an image of a sequence of turns through the tunnel behind you. Excuse me, through the tunnel behind you that will immediately take you back up to the surface.
Okay. All right. Can we get there in time?
Easily. There's a lot of dirt for them to try and get through.
Let's go.
All right. Let's go.
I'll follow you.
I assume you all follow Katie.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
As you all get up and out very quickly, you can see that there is indeed someone trying to carve through the ground. They appear to be almost entirely covered in a black cloak, trying to obscure as much of their figure as they can. You shout out, "Hey!"
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I have a gun. That's my menacing battle cry.
It stops carving into the ground for a moment before slowly turning, and it moves to stand up. As it does, the black cloak seems to fall off of it, and what you're able to see is different. Most of its body appears to be covered in some sort of armored structure. Its arms, at the end of its hands, instead of just normal hands, they are massive clawed gauntlets, each around the size of a human's torso. That's what it was using to carve into the ground and dig. However, as the cloak's hood falls back, I'm not sure. I think it was some sort of car outside. It wasn't my sound effects, that's for certain. Yeah. As the cloak's hood falls backwards, you can see that it has a completely white covering of its body. Much like how a grim is made up of some sort of fluid, it seems to also be made of something, but you could only really describe it as marble white. It seems to move and shift as though it were skin, but it is this pristine white marble coloring, perfectly smooth. And you can see that in where eyes should be are just black pinpricks as it just looks towards you.
What are you doing?
Katie.
Yeah.
You didn't say that you disconnected from the communion.
Oh, whoops.
So right now, it sees through your eyes, and immediately you're hit with a series of images. Creatures that look very similar to this one, marble-like stone that make up their bodies that seem to move with unnatural fluidity. They were never geared up in armor. They were powerful, though, and they seemed to get into frequent battles with Grim back before the breaking of the moon.
Hurting Grim must be in your blood then, huh?
It continues to stare at the group of you, keeping its eyes directly onto Katie for a moment, before, after a few more seconds, it just looks back at the ground and tries to continue digging.
No.
I raise my gun. You keep doing that. I have a gun.
Say, pause before you hear Dave. It emulates human speech as you hear a garbled statement from Dave of run.
Oh, I heal you out of there. Can I?
Okay.
I don't think it's possible to heal you backwards, but it would be hilarious if I could.
Do you tell what you do? You pulled out your gun, said, "I have a gun," and then you were just like, "Nope."
By the way, to clarify, Katie, it's not saying run from the creature in white.
Oh.
It's not worried about what it would do to you right now, but it is still telling you to run. Do you relay this to the rest of your group?
Dave was telling me to run in general. Okay.
Oh, I think Dave's about to nuke him.
Oh. I just like, okay, alright, how do I...
I guess we just go?
Yeah, move.
Yeah, let's get out of here, I guess.
Okay. You all move fairly quickly. Keeping a good pace is not hard. You notice that out of all of you, Yukari seem the way that she's got this blank look on her face.
Oh.
Is she's. You're pretty sure that you just managed to accidentally upend her worldview?
Yep, I was gonna say. Yep, she's.
So, there's that.
She's just like,
Then there's the communion between you and
Dave.
Dave is still active for a moment more, as you can feel several of his tendrils surge. There's the sound of an explosion nearby, right where the white creature had been, as you are able to see through Dave that it grabs it, rips it through the earth, and then begins surging downwards. Your range is immediately... Dave immediately leaves your range, as you're confident that at the rate that it was moving, Dave is probably going to be more than a mile away in less than 30 seconds.
Dave is so
Jesus.
cool.
He just tremored that thing. Like it came out of the came out of the ground. Damn.
Just like,
Okay,
hi,
let's go.
motherfucker, how you doing?
He's so cool.
He is.
As you continue to move through, you are able to find that you're rapidly approaching an opening in the tree line, a place where you can actually see forward.
I'm placing another one of the portals here.
Mm-hmm.
As you move forward, the brightness from the sunshine makes it almost impossible for you to see past the openings to the tree line when you first step out due to the sudden change in lighting. But when you do, you can see that in the large opening, it opens up to a large plain-like area. There are at least 5 people standing there with grim masks on their faces, fully armed, ready for combat. They appear to have been waiting for you. Most notably, amongst them, you can see, by looking a bit up, the flapping of wing beats suddenly makes a lot more sense, because one of them is riding a fully grown Nevermore.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
I want to look at Yukari and gesture at Jackalope to get closer to her.
Yukari does give a response. It's a slow, gentle sound as she murmurs under her breath, "What the fuck?"
What?
Yeah, I think he's directing you to protect her, Jackalope.
Oh yeah, I am. I'm just like, she's freaked out. It's like, what do you mean?
That the one atop the Nevermore points a large, what's clearly a makeshift weapon. In its current state, it appears to be a spear. As he points it towards everyone. Identify yourselves and explain what you're doing on our property.
Hi, I'm Katie.
Before you
Jesus
answer, though, or
Christ.
perhaps I should say before you answer in detail, that is where we're going to be wrapping up today's session of Terminal Season.
Jackalope is
Around 9
legitimately confused as to why Yukari is terrified.
It's like, what? It's just a man with a gun. It's fine. It'll be okay.
The gun ain't smoking her.
So it's just a man right there. Like a giant ass bird. He seems like a good man.
But what's that in front of the rock? Is that a human?
No, man, it's fine. Here's a more dangerous one. The bird we can tame. It'll be fine.
The bird.
The bird we can take.
But yeah, congratulations. You got to meet Dave.
Yeah.
Bird.
I didn't originally plan on giving him a name, but you know what? I'm not going to turn it down.
Katie
I love
gives
Dave.
everything a name.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode of Jumpchain RWBY Terminal Season. We're going to be continuing this next week, Monday at 7 to 9 p.m. PST. I also do a D&D stream from 7 to 10 p.m. PST on Fridays, or every other Friday. And I do random other streams on Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday, I believe. So if you guys want to check those out, you're more than welcome to. And we also have some YouTubes, Vods of Valhalla and Tables of Tartarus. Jesus.
Yeah, tables of tartar sauce.
Tables of
remember that
tartar
one, I
sauce,
guess.
yeah. So if you guys enjoy this stuff, go check our socials on our link tree, and we shall see you fine folks. I need water. On the
Yes,
next
drink some
episode.
gasoline water, you dehydrated harlot.
We shall see you fine folks on the next episode. Bye.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Bye.